Dollar. Hey, DJ Mosky, let's get it. We the champions here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I met the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over. Call the promoters. I just put up in this thing with my soldiers. I blew it and I'm still. Last minute I'ma need me some. Call up Khalifa. Bring the in the. You know I stay with some bad little baby. TGOD baby, no that's a gang gang. Crazy girls after the game. We throwing hundreds, we going insane. Pouring this. Yeah, homies got me pouring this. We get awards, but we give God the glory. I'm shooting my shot, and most times I be scoring. Do this for my city, I bring on the trophy. Feel like Freddie Mercury, we the champions here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I met the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over.
Feeling like I can't miss. Baby, it's all in the wrist. You really wanna be the boss, it's expensive. Ain't the real champ if you never defend it. Put in that work, I'ma make them remember. I just broke down hella trees, yelling timber. Stand in the line, they put me in the center. It blow their mind when they see how I'm winning. Went back and doubled up, now you in trouble. My all hustle, my diamonds are huddled up. TGOD got this off the muscle. Ask me about my life, man, I love it. Got so many rings, I need room for another one. Been through the pain, now it ain't no more struggle. My team win the game, put our face on the cover, brother. We the champions.
Here in Los Angeles, we doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the
Denver Broncos are now on the clock.
My superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over.
The New Orleans Saints are now on the clock. The Denver Broncos are on the clock. The Philadelphia Eagles on the clock now. It's the Detroit Lions now on the clock. The Seattle Seahawks are now on the clock. The Los Angeles Rams now on the clock. The Carolina Panthers now on the clock. It's the Cleveland Browns now on the clock.
If God for me, who could be against me?
The Minnesota Vikings are now on the clock.
They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
The Baltimore Ravens.
East Coast, the 6-4s hitting
on
switch.
The clock now.
It's not a conflict.
The Miami Dolphins
with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands.
The 49ers on the clock now.
Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. They hit them either close range or at a distance.
Now on the clock.
If God for me, why bother? I got my game from
on
the
clock now. The Buffalo Bills.
Rock bottom.
The Pittsburgh Steelers on the clock now.
flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish robe
Now
with matching
on the
gold
clock,
things.
the
Bomber
Washington
jacket in the winter, it's a
Commanders.
cold game. I met some East Coast up in
With the
Spokane.
next pick,
Some of
the
realest
Kansas City
in this dope
Chiefs
game.
are
I got
now
my
on the
curly
clock.
toes looking like special ed.
With the
Clean
next
fade
pick,
on the side,
the
bumping that
Raiders
red
are
head.
on the
Clean
clock.
tags when I ride, ducking the fed fades.
The
East Coast,
Cincinnati
they get that brain
Bengals
break.
are on the clock.
You end up dead. The West Coast, they lead that.
It's the Steelers
And now you
now
got
on the clock.
Dread hate.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast, the 6'4s hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast,
It's the
rocking them
Philadelphia
Timberlands, deep up in the
Eagles,
trenches.
now on the
It's
clock.
No difference. 4th and inches. I'm finna hit a lick and handle
the next
business.
selection,
I got it down.
the Lions
She
are
real
on the
vicious.
clock.
Rock-a-bye, baby. No witness.
The Los
This is
Angeles
not even a
Rams are
conflict.
up.
You
They're
on
on
nonsense.
the clock.
Got the same way in Brooklyn and Compton.
It's
But
the
with that
Carolina
gang,
Panthers
make a
now
profit.
on the clock.
top. Stay poppin'. Look, see,
With
I
the
was
next
the high
selection,
school slick, bring
the
out
Browns
style and
are
fat gold
on the
chain with
clock.
an African medallion, hip-hop connoisseur,
now
and
the
rolling
Vikings
20 present.
turn.
Rap game real
On
tight,
the clock.
freestyle was magnificent, all about the clout and
The
all about my
Baltimore
dividends.
Ravens now
Them
on
others
the clock.
couldn't tell me different. I need a roundaway girl to let me
On the clock
Showtime,
now,
Mythic
it's
Apollo.
the Denver Broncos.
about the bottom. Take two and pour out a little for my who won't live to see tomorrow.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. Yeah. Sound like some superheroes. Some black superheroes. Every block, every hood, every
The
city,
Los
every
Angeles
ghetto.
Chargers now on the clock.
Need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero.
You need a role like me. Military mind stated, and I keep a
Now
a
on the
degree.
clock,
You can
the
label
San
me a
Francisco
UEP, made a
49ers.
martyr out of Martin, out of Malcolm, out of Mecca. I refuse to
On
let
the
these
clock
dirty
now,
devils make my
the
color
Chicago
better.
Bears.
CEO, I will go make Edo for my people. Give me liberty or death, that
It's
is my
the
credo, not
Buffalo
my ego.
Bills,
Dressed in
now
a tuxedo,
on the
it's a
clock.
party, alter ego. Killed your leader in gazebo, did it for
Next
the
up,
people.
the
Love what
Jets
motivated,
are
I did
on
not
the
do it for
clock.
hatred. But I truly hate the devil, I cannot debate or fake it.
On the
I was
clock
asked a
now,
question and
the
asked it
Dallas
hard.
Cowboys.
If I was facing death and I could ask one thing of God, I would ask for
On
every
the clock now, it's the Atlanta Falcons.
Celebrated as a child of God. And to be rightfully
The
celebrated
Green
as a
Bay
child of God.
Packers are on the clock. On the clock now, the Houston Texans.
Every block, every hood, every city.
The Houston Texans are now on the clock.
Need a black superhero.
On the clock now, the Detroit Lions. Now on the clock, the Rams. The Panthers are on the clock. The Indianapolis Colts are now on the clock. Now on the clock, the Giants.
Just one time, so unstoppable together. At
On the
same
clock
time.
now, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, we're gonna be high.
The New England Patriots are now on the clock. The Pittsburgh Steelers are now on the clock. The Arizona Cardinals are now on the clock. It's the Tennessee Titans now on the clock. With the next selection, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Next up, the Commanders are on the clock. The Kansas City Chiefs. now on the clock.
Washington miners will be walking through walls. Type of
The Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock.
From them shields that been killing us all. High beams for eyes.
The Bengals now on the clock. On the clock now, the Houston Texans.
They live and take care of the kids and the older folk. The queen cause they need it most.
Next up,
Politics with the king.
it's the Broncos on the clock.
Cause mental health ain't a joke. Feed the hungry and dope. Everyone would know everywhere we go.
Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Be the black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Be the black superhero. It's gonna take one of us to save us. It's gonna take love and a lot of trust me. Just to get that faith and know that. Because you got mine, I got your back, I know. It's gonna take one of us to save us. It's gonna take love and a lot of trust me. Just to get that faith and know that. Because you got mine, I got your back, I know. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Be the black superhero.
Up next, the Philadelphia Eagles are on the clock. The Detroit Lions now on the clock.
Y'all calling me crazy when a been
On the clock now, the Los Angeles Rams. With the next selection, the Carolina Panthers on the clock. Next up, the Cleveland Browns are on the clock. And now on the clock, the Minnesota Vikings. With the next selection, the Ravens are on the clock. The Denver Broncos are now on the clock.
It's a brand new day, new pace like jogging. Straight facts, no jargon. It's a whole lot of big blue checks, no login. No stress, no stalling. See a whole lot of big folk, that's when I'm all in.
I'm going crazy, yeah. Can't date me, yeah. Look at your savings, yeah. Got 'em going crazy, yeah. Look at your savings, can't date me. I'm going crazy, yeah. Can't date me, yeah. Look at your savings, yeah. Got 'em going crazy, yeah. Look at your savings, can't date me. Crazy, amazing, buku bucks. Pay me awful luxury. Save me, who knew you go crazy? Gotta go crazy.
The Chargers are up now. They're on the clock. The San Francisco 49ers are now on the clock. The Chicago Bears are now on the clock. The Buffalo Bills are now on the clock. The New York Jets are now on the clock. It's the Cowboys now on the clock. It's the Atlanta Falcons now on the clock. The Green Bay Packers are now on the clock. Now on the clock, the Texans. On the clock now, the New Orleans Saints. Now we turn to the Eagles. They're on the clock. Now the Seattle Seahawks are on the clock. Next up, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the clock. Next up, the Indianapolis Colts are on the clock. And now on the clock, it's the 49ers. The Jaguars are on the clock now. Next up, the Patriots are on the clock. On the clock now, it's the Los Angeles Chargers. And now, on the clock, it's the Arizona Cardinals. On the clock now, it's the Tennessee Titans. The Pittsburgh Steelers on the clock now. The Washington Commanders are now on the clock. The Chiefs are on the clock. The Atlanta Falcons are now on the clock. Next up, it's the Packers on the clock. On the clock now, the Houston Texans. The Denver Broncos are on the clock. The Philadelphia Eagles on the clock now. It's the Detroit Lions now on the clock. The Los Angeles Rams now on the clock. It's the Bucks now on the clock. The Colts now on the clock. The Cleveland Browns are now on the clock. The Minnesota Vikings now on the clock. The Baltimore Ravens are on the clock now. With the next pick, the Miami Dolphins are on the clock. It's now the San Francisco 49ers pick. They're up. The Chicago Bears are on the clock now. It's the Bills now on the clock. The New York Jets on the clock now. It's the Dallas Cowboys now on the clock. With the next selection, the Falcons are on the clock. On the clock now, it's the Green Bay Packers.
Most chains in the game. No post office, we stamping time.
The Houston Texans are now on the clock.
Family size, leather bombers and Nikes and Kais. Dangerous corners, you better pray that tomorrow arrives.
It's the Denver Broncos.
And nothing sweet. Y'all too out of shape to even box with me. Heavyweight, I know my way around the ring. Just like Shorty know her way around the storm. Making hits with Hit Boy, all he gotta do is hit record. Record breaking news, had to show up just to fill a void. Confused, spoiled little boys, y'all better keep your poise. Leave me out of the weasel. Be cool when you see me, I'm hotter than
Philadelphia Eagles now on the clock.
Believe in it. Locked in on the instrumental, I took back the key to this.
With the next selection, the Lions are on the clock.
How could you post that? I would have crowned the city as
The
mine.
Los Angeles Rams are up. They're on the clock.
Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that
The
flow.
Carolina Panthers now on the clock.
I would have crowned the city as mine. You cannot hold that. I'm not
It's
the
the
one to go
Cleveland
back.
Browns now
What I'm
on the
saying,
clock.
people saying what's already been said. Predictions, I don't listen. It's
The
already in my
Minnesota
head.
Vikings are now on the
I
clock.
was past that at 28. Underground tapes. As my ass
On the
cap in
clock
public
now,
mistakes.
the
As we
Baltimore
slide in the
Ravens.
G-Rise. I've been getting criticized. It's keeping me energized. Create with a
Next up,
business mind.
it's
I'm
the
from where killers
Dolphins
reside. A
on the
wild hood,
clock.
only knew boom since my childhood. Say anything
The
in they raps 'cause it
49ers
sound good.
on the
Don't
clock
even mean
now.
what they say. Horrible outlook. Y'all ain't really about
It's
this
the
house.
Bears
Y'all
now
was in the
on the
house with
clock.
it. We don't respect fake jewelry and silly outfits. Window down.
On the
blowing
clock
out.
now,
Great
the
hits, New
Buffalo
York Street
Bills.
Prince on Houston Street. I caught the bounce before my even bounced the
With the
beat. I
next
took the hallway
selection,
in it. Man, it's
the
the
New
route
York
for me.
Jets.
Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back.
The Dallas
top three, I'm
Cowboys
number
are
one.
now
How you post
on
that?
the clock.
I would have crowned the city as mine. You cannot hold that. I'm not the one
On
to
the
go
clock
back.
now,
Me, Joe
it's the
Black.
Atlanta
Run me the keys,
Falcons.
run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top three, I'm not number
The
one.
Green
How could you
Bay
post that?
Packers are
I would've
on the
crowned
clock.
city as mine. You cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go back. Meet Joe Black. Meet Joe Black. Wild West.